Hi guys and welcome to the video. My name is Clinton Lofthouse and you're tuned into photomanipulation.com. In this full length tutorial I'll be showing you how to extract a model and blend him seamlessly into a background. If you're new here, welcome. We're not your typical Photoshop channel. We specialise in photo manipulation, digital art and advanced Photoshop techniques. If that sounds like your kind of thing, be sure to like and subscribe as we put out 5 videos a week. Let's roll the video and enjoy. So as discussed, we are going to go into this full tutorial now. We have been covering kind of very advanced photo manipulations and we've been doing these little one-off techniques, but what I'm going to do today, as I said, is I'm going to run through a full composite tutorial. So it's going to go at normal speed and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing as I go along. So I'm going to be using this image here of this guy from Adobe Stock who looks like some sort of banker. Oh, that's what he looked like to me. And then we are going to be placing in this image here, which I believe is a bank maybe, or the inside of a bank, I'm not sure. It's also from Adobe Stock. So links to these will be in the comments of the video. So first of all, let's jump in and let's just start cutting this guy out. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to use the pen tool and then see if I can get some refine edge on his hair around here. So if we move to the left to the toolbar, let's click on the pen tool. Let's press Ctrl+ to zoom in. Let's just start cutting away at this. So this is always quite boring, so I'm just going to kind of narrate through this. Usually I would speed this up, but I want to make sure we get the full pen tool in. So I'm basically just aiming the handle of the anchor point in the direction that I want to go, and then I click here. So if I want to curve around this little bit here, I'll click here and then I'll curve the handle that way, and then I'll click here and then pull the handle out this way. There's I think we've done a video on the pen tool, and there is also a pen tool section in my upcoming course, the Art of Composite, which will be coming soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So I'm just going up now, up the side of this arm. And I'm pretty sure there is also a little pen tool lesson in my course, the Hollywood Processing course, which will be linked underneath this video. So I'm just going up the arm now. And this is, I use the pen tool quite a lot. I really don't like it. I think I've done enough pen tool in my lifetime to not have to do any more, but because it gives the best selections, it's just easier to do this than using Photoshop quick selection tools, because you always then have to go in anyway and refine everything, and that for me just it kind of spoils the whole point of having a quick selection tool when it's not very quick. So I'm just going to go up this arm now, again just pulling on the handles and moving the anchor points and the path. So what you want to do as well is you want to keep like a little millimeter inside as well. If you try and do it on the very line of what you're cutting out, you're going to end up with fringing, and then we have to sort that out after. So I mean, there probably will be a little bit of fringing like here, but again we can just, that's very quick to sort out, but you don't want that all the way around. So I'm just kind of working up this arm now. You don't have to be super precise either. As long as you get a nice selection and you follow the curves of the whatever you're cutting out, we will be good. So I'm just going to go up this part of this. And we're going to get to the beard now. So when we get to the beard, I'm going to start cutting up around this area here, because what we're going to do is we're going to make a separate selection for the head and try and pull these dark beard hairs out. So let's press Ctrl Z, let's go up here. So I'm going to get as close as I can possibly to that edge without going over here, because we want to refine edge that. So let's just get, here we go, and I'll get to his face, and then let's start working our way up the face. Get to his eyebrows. His eyes got quite bushy eyebrows. Bushy hair as well, bushy beard, bushy eyebrows, bushy hair. I once tried growing a beard and it went ginger, so I never tried again. So it's a sore point for me. Can't grow a beard. Kind of looks like that ginger guy from The Burbs, if you've ever seen that, so it wasn't a good look. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going down the hair. So I'm doing on the hair like I did with the beard. So I'm getting as close as to the edge as I can get before you get to these kind of areas where the background's in. And we're going to pull that out with, potentially, if it works as well as Adobe say it does, Refine Edge. It never seems to work as good as they make out, but we'll give it a go. So I'm just going to, in fact I'm just going to kind of zigzag here because we've got little bits of hair. Until we get to the hair, and then we don't want these little ear hairs. Jesus, this guy's got hairy, I can't even pronounce that, hairy ears. So let's just go down here. I wonder if there's a reason for hairy ears. If it like makes you more aerodynamic or something. Who knows? But so now we're going down to the neck. In fact, it would make you more aerodynamic, wouldn't it? How strange. I'll have to Google it after this video. So on to the shoulder now. I'm going down. Control Z if you go wrong. So if you just go wrong, all you have to do is Control Z it and undo it. And then let's move down here. So you probably want to fast forward most of this actually. I mean, I did say I was going to do a full tutorial, so I'm not going to speed it up, but feel free to speed up this pen tool part. I'm pretty sure if Dean Samed's watching this, he'll be touching himself and enjoying this pen tool exhibition. The guy's a little bit of a sadist for the pen tool. Got to be something very wrong with you if you enjoyed a pen tool. I don't know if any of you guys have watched his video on the channel where he cut out the roller coaster, but I'm pretty sure that was something that he probably wouldn't want to do again, even for someone who has a pen tool fetish. It was a little bit too much for him, I think, or maybe not. Maybe this is a challenge to the Samed to do another one. What could we get him to do? Maybe next time he has to cut out a spider web with the pen tool. No, that's a challenge. So why don't you all leave comments on this video actually to do a spider web, and let's see if we can get him to do that. Knowing Samed as well as I do, he's not one to let a challenge go. So we're just going down the arm now. God, this is taking forever, isn't it? Please do speed up this because it is quite boring, but I'm still going to crack on with it because I want it to be a full tutorial, and I know if I speed up this bit, someone will probably complain. So I'm just going to, it's your own fault to be fair for the complaints. I'm laughing and I just had a finger spasm. Right, so if we go down here to this button, and then down this arm. Yes, nearly there, come on. Down to the arm. And then let's quickly just go down this kind of jacket bottom. So there we go. Probably shouldn't say the word bottom if Redowan's watching this video. He's a fan of bottoms. So we'll go across here. If you could all comment on Redowan's videos saying I'm the best instructor, that would also be very appreciated. I'm sure he would love that. Right, so I'm going to zoom out now with Control minus. And I am going to cut out these arm bits in a minute, but let's just deal with the main bulk of the body. So let's go. So when we've united the paths when the little circle, and we've united them, you get this kind of blue path going around. Then you're going to go up to the toolbar at the top and press selection, feather, so let me pronounce that right, feather radius at 1 pixel, and press OK. And then let's go to select and mask. So you go to select, down to select and mask, and then I'm just going to smooth that even more by about 1. And then I'm going to go to the left, make sure the refine edge brush is clicked. So this is one here, click that. And then we're just going to go and see if we can pull some of these hairs out. This doesn't work a lot of the time, I'm not going to lie. So let's give it a go. So let's use it open and close brackets to resize it. Let's just paint up here. Are we going to get his beard? Oh, it's not doing a bad job. It's because he's got dark, very dark beard hair. He's a proper man. He don't get ginger beard hair like me. So let's sculpt this part of the hair now. Let's just go around the edge like so. It's not doing too much of a bad job. Let's hope this it works out alright. As you can tell by my voice, doesn't always come to plan, the refine edge tool. So I'm just going to paint that on the hair here. Let's make that a little bit bigger and put it down his hair. There. Oh, that's not bad, not bad, not bad. So let's just resize and get that a little bit there and see if we can just get this a little bit on the back of his head here as well. Like so. There's a little bit missing from this side here. No. So then let's go to radius. Let's see what happens if we pull this 1 pixel. Does that work better? Maybe. So let's go down and press OK. Now what we want to do is, actually we don't need to actually make a second selection for the hair because refine edge worked quite well. We've just done it in one go. So let's save the selection anyway, just in case. So we'll go to select, save selection. We'll call that, let's just call it body, and press OK, and it just saves that selection to your channels if you need it. So let's Control minus and zoom out, and then let's just go and click the layer mask icon, and that will take away the background. So the hair actually looks okay, and the beard. So I'm just going to go in here and get rid of these 2 little pieces. So for those people who wanted full tutorials, yes, this is your fault that you're having to watch all this pen tool, so everyone can blame you. So let's go up now, and let's go through here, and let's click the point here, and let's just click here for the curve and pull the handle around, and then curve the pen tool around. Let's zoom in here because I don't want to cut too much of this off, and then let's go down. Oops. There we go. And then let's go down this part of his body here. Let's go down. Let's click across. When the circle comes, that means you can unite the paths. And then let's go to selection. And then let's put this at 2, because I believe that's what we had the select and mask at. And then let's press backspace, and that will just, and then press Ctrl D to get rid of the marching ants. Like so. Actually, it looks a bit too much that, so let's go back and let's just go to, let's do it at 1 pixel. For some reason it seems to be making it a little bit more blurred than the select and mask. Let's click 1 pixel and then make sure you have the layer mask selected, because we're working non-destructive, so basically we're just hiding this with black. So let's press backspace, that will fill that area with black, and that will then hide it from our selection here. So let's press Ctrl D, and let's do the same on this side. So Ctrl plus to zoom in. Yes, come on, last bit of the pen tool is gonna be done. So we go up like so. Then let's just get this little bit done. Then we can move on to the fun stuff. And then down. Let's just get this across here. Selection, 1 pixel, press OK, backspace, boom, gone. Press Ctrl D to get rid of the marching ants, then Ctrl minus to zoom out. And we have our banker. So what we want to do now is we want to select our background image. Let's just press Ctrl A to select the whole image, Ctrl C to copy. Then let's click onto our model again. Let's press Ctrl V to bring that image in, and then let's slide the background image layer underneath the guy, and voila, we have our background behind our model. But we need to resize it and move it around so it matches up with the guy. So let's press Ctrl T to free transform, and let's just pull the handle and let's just start resizing this bad boy. So we want, it looks like it's from a lower angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it somewhere here. Let me just bring that down a bit, let me resize it. So I'm doing this because obviously it looks like it's been taken from maybe a little bit of a lower angle. So let's pull it down a little bit. And I'm doing this because you've got this rim kind of light hitting him here. So that could be the daylight actually coming from this door. We've got the kind of the other side, which is the key light, which would be, there's a lot of this orange light here, which could be filling this side. And there's probably, we could make it look like there's some in front of him at this side as well. We have a little bit of shadow, which is a nice little bit of shadow here, which creates depth. But also the background has these converging lines, are also all towards our model. So this line here, this line here, and they all lead to our model, which again is nice compositionally. So let's press enter. So we've got our model and our background together now. So let's, I want to add maybe a little bit of, so what we need to do now is we need to color match the elements together. So usually when I pull a model into a background, I will change the color of the model to match the background, and that's pretty much what I do most of the time. Sometimes I will do it the other way around, but let's go this time with the model. So I'm going to create a curves adjustment, and I'm going to hold down Alt. I'm going to clip that to our guy, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to blue, and I'm just going to click on the center of this blue color curve and pull it to the right, then add a little bit of yellow to this guy. I've got quite a yellow orangey background, so just pull a little bit this way, and then I'm going to play around with the green color curves. I'm going to pull a tiny little bit of red in there because we've added yellow now, a little bit red for the orange, and then let's go and play with the actual, sorry, green and magenta, wasn't it? What I added in, not red, sorry. And then I'm going to go to the red color curves, and I'm going to just, I'm not going to add much red in. In fact, I'm not going to play with that one. I don't think we need to use that one. So I added a little bit magenta and a little bit of yellow in. So let's have a look. So we've added a little bit of warmth to him, which does work. I might take it away from this side because this is, we've got the daylight coming through this side, and daylight is usually a cooler color temperature. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can press B for brush. For some reason Photoshop doesn't want to select it, so I'll go to the side, do it manually, and I'm going to set my brush to black, and let's put the flow to 48%, and I'm just going to paint away that color from what we've painted in from this side, as this is where the daylight is hitting this guy. So we've got a bit more warmer colour picture this side, and we're going to have a cooler one on this side where the daylight is actually coming through and maybe reflecting off his jacket a little bit. So this isn't a massive detail, but if you look, click it on and off, there we go, it's warmer at this side. So let's now have a look at saturation. Let's maybe desaturate this guy a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I've clicked the model layer here, because we have some already clipped to this layer. If I put it underneath this clipped layer, it will automatically clip itself. So let's go and click Q saturation. As you can see, it's now automatically clipped to our model. And I'm just going to pull the saturation down a tiny bit. Somewhere -13 maybe. think that looks pretty good. Looks a little bit more realistic. It was a little bit too saturated before. The hair looks good, the beard looks good. So there's not actually really much we need to do to this. It's already looking quite good, but what I might do is I'm going to do some dodge and burn. So there's many videos on dodge and burn, and there's one on this channel, so if you want to learn how to create it from scratch, just go and watch that video. I'm just going to use a action at the moment because it's quicker, and it's going to be a curves dodge and burn. I'm going to create that. I'm going to set both of these to luminosity, so it only affects the tone and it doesn't create color shifts. And then I'm going to go to dodge, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to start dodging away on this guy, like so. So you want to set your brush to around, I would say, 14%. Set your brush to white. So if it's on black, just press X and it'll switch to white. And then let's just start painting on the guy's face. I'm dodging now, so what I'm doing is basically I'm dodging the highlights. We are working non-destructive, so it's too strong, we can turn it down later. So I'm just going over the highlights, what are already on his face, dodging them, so it's creating contrast, so that's giving us more detail and depth. A little bit on his lips now. I'm going to do this quite quick, but if you spend a lot of time on it, it will look better. So I'm just going to go over his mouth now, create some depth in the lip. Then we've got his chin somewhere around here, so let's add some got these parts here, goes up a bit. Control minus to zoom out. So you do want to resize your brush for the areas that you are dodging and burning. So I think this guy's got makeup on, looks like it. So I'm just going to dodge here, a bit down here a little bit, try and get some shape to his face, a little bit on the forehead. Usually somewhere here there's some highlights there. Let's go up and start doing some of his hair as well. Get some of these highlights popping. So I'm just doing this very roughly now, so let's just start. Let's get his ears a little bit. We've already dodged here, a little bit dodged there. Here we dodge, there we dodge, everywhere dodge, dodge. So we've done his face, so let's now go on to the burn and start burning this. So I usually take the burn down a little bit because it's usually quite strong. Don't know what that was then. What is this thing? Go away. I've never even seen that before. So let's take it to 10%, and then let's start burning. So let's start with the eyes. He's looking down. He's probably just lost a lot of money on crypto and he can't believe it. Why did he put his money into it? Let's just start burning the eyebrows a little bit, and then a little bit under the eye. Bottom of the nose here, there's some shadow. Paint some shadow here, there's a little bit of shadow there. Maybe that's too much. If you can press Ctrl Z to undo, if you do actually go a little bit overboard. Like that, let's get some there. We've kind of got this crease in his face here, what we can enhance. Got some shadows here. I always want to, even when there's a little bit of rim light, you still want to kind of darken around face a little bit. It's just nice, gives a nice little bit of depth under the chin here. Kind of got this area here as well. Because we're working non-destructive, is that if this is too much we can always take some away. Let's burn under the chin here a little bit. Let's burn in this here. Let's just kind of go behind this side of the head a little bit so it goes down there. Let's burn in these dark areas. So I'm going to just do my lazy trick, which is just to duplicate this after and then lower the opacity. So it's got kind of some frown lines here. Like so. And now let's move on to his claws. So this took quite a while. Control minus to zoom out. So I'm going to try and quickly do his claws now. I think you should all know how to dodge and burn now. By now I've done a million tutorials on it. So I'm just going to quickly get through this dodge and burn. So I'm just... Oops. So now I'm just dodging again the highlights. Trying to create like a depth here, because this curve here, if you enhance the highlight, it just gives it more depth. The curve looks a little bit more deeper, so we can add depth to certain areas. And then if we put more shadow here as well, it just pulls it out and stylizes it a little bit. So you can dodge and burn for many things. You can dodge and burn for detail, you can dodge and burn for depth, you can dodge and burn skin to get flat skin. Dodge and burn is a very powerful technique, so if you don't use it, get to know it. I'm just going to dodge down here. So let's put that up a little bit. Let's put it back up to 14 and let's start just pumping some dodge into this image. Can go a little bit overboard with claws, then you can face. So I'm just kind of dodging these areas, and to get some shape to this arm I'm going to dodge that bit, and then I'm going to dodge this bit. Then we've got the arm here. Again, just dodging on the claws now. I am going through this quite quickly just to, so don't make this a super long tutorial. So let's then add some depth by just kind of going down this arm here with the dodge. Get some up here. We don't really need to focus too much on this area because that's not where we want the eyes to go. So now burning. So I'm just burning the edge of the fingers, just following the shadow of the hand, and then maybe adding in my own a little bit just to get some more depth. Like so, and then on this side of the arm, up here. So let's zoom out now. So we haven't gone too crazy, but let's just turn this group off and on. So I actually accidentally put that colour curves in the dodge and burn, so let's now turn it off and on. So we just got a little bit of depth there. I did miss his lips on his face, so I'm just going to go into the burn. I'm just zoom in on his lips now and get these lips here. Control plus. And then we're set to burn. And then let's just get some nice shape to the lips as well here. And then let's just burn a little bit this area here. Control plus to zoom out. I think we got his tie, but we can burn that a little bit more if we need to. And then let's close this group now, and then we can just turn it off and on and see what we've done. And if you want to be lazy, you can add, well, you can basically press Ctrl J to duplicate what we've done, and then just lower that right down so you want the strength a little bit stronger. So what you can do as well, it's a little bit strong here on his cheek, you can add a layer mask, and then with a black brush you can just paint the transitions away like so, making them a little bit softer. Like so. So now we can, what we want to do now is, let me just have a look to make sure that's looking alright. So let's pull that up a little bit actually. So now we want to maybe colour grade the image, and then we can add a little bit of light leaks on if we want to. So let's go for the colour grade. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to gradient map. Let's add some contrast first actually. So I'm going to press on the gradient here, I'm going to select black to white and click OK, and that's turned out image black and white. But to use this for contrast, if we go to from normal, put it onto luminosity, that will just add contrast, so it only affects the tones of the image and not colours. So that's a little bit too much, so let's just pull that down a little bit. So let's go somewhere around, so that's, I quite like deep colours, so let's go full there, so that's quite contrasty. Let's go for 53%. And now let's add another gradient map. This time we're going to add it for the colour. So let's click on the gradient, let's click black to white, and then let's go for a gold kind of colour for this. So if we double click on the black there, we can then choose a colour down here from the colour picker. So let's go for this dark yellow here for the shadows. There's no box for the midtone, so we create it ourselves by just clicking underneath. Let's just move that box into the middle a little bit. Let's double click inside. So let's go for a kind of gold colour. So it's like a yellowy gold there. For the midtone, press OK. And for the highlights and the whites, I just keep them white, but you can add a different colour if you want. Let's press OK. So we have this very gold image now. So what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to lower the opacity down and then just bring some of that yellow in somewhere around here. That's maybe too much. Let's go at 35%. And then my little favourite trick for colour grading is adding a little bit of colour into the shadows. So let's create a selective colour adjustment. Let's go down to the blacks and let's pull in a little bit of red. Like so. It's only very subtle, but it just gives it that painterly feel. Like so. And then what we can do now is we can add some detail. So let me think, am I going to add the light leaks first, or am I going to add the detail? So let's just go with the detail. Thing is, if you use a plugin, which I'm going to use for the detail, it does mean you are then working destructive, but that doesn't matter because we're pretty much at the end now already. So let's go and create a stamp visible layer. So Control Alt Shift and E, and then let's go to filter, let's go to Nik Collection, Color Efex Pro 4. So this is the plugin now coming up and working its magic. So I only really use bleach bypass or detail extractor with this, so let's see which one works best. So the bleach bypass is there. Let's look at detail extractor. Maybe we can use a bit of both. So let us let's use that one first. Maybe we can bring both of them in. So the plugin is now going to work its magic. Just take a little bit of a couple of well, it takes about a minute maybe, sometimes less to work its magic. So now's a good time to have a drink of water, let out a sigh of relief that we're nearly finished, or pick your nose for a little bit, whichever keeps you happy. So now we've applied the filter, we don't want it on that strong, so what we want to do is we want to probably lower that right down and just bring that up a little bit like so. And I usually say we don't want to use these globally, but because I'm using it at only 30%, you can kind of get away with that a little bit. It's just taking some of the shadows, it's just adding a little bit more contrast to the image, so you're getting that very kind of HDR Joel Grimes look. So let's delete this stamp visible layer because we don't need that, and then let's create another one, Control Alt Shift and E, and then we're going to try adding some bleach bypass on and see what that looks like. So Color Effects Pro 4, from the filters, add a little bleach bypass, and this usually pulls out some fine details with contrast again, in a different look to the detail extractor. You can usually, this one I use quite a lot, the bleach bypass, but you need to just use it subtly most of the time. So let's press OK. I'm just going to keep it with the factory settings. Let it work its magic again. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. So there we go, and then again I'm going to just pull that right down and then just pull it up a little bit. So maybe just 14%, so you're just getting a little bit. Was it taking away some of that colour? I quite liked that colour, but this is that stage where I'm kind of like, I like both. I like this one and I like that one. Actually, I might keep the bleach bypass off. I don't know, it's having some nice contrast. So actually, I think I'm not going to use a bleach pass this time. So what we want to do now, I'm just going to add a little bit of light leaks to these areas where the lights are, a little bit of glow. So I'm going to create a blank layer. I'm going to set it to linear dodge, and then with the brush tool, so B for brush if it's not selected, let's just go and hold down Alt and sample this colour here. Let's see if we can just enhance these glowing lights here. Like so. So I'm just roughly painting over these and then with the fill, I'm just going to pull the fill down a little bit. Don't want to take it down too much. Some layout 78, and let's just do one more. Let's add a little bit of a color dodge. So let's add a little bit of, let's try orange, something more deep, like so. Let's see if this works. That's too much. So let's put our brush down to so adding a little bit of stylization there. I don't know if it works on that bit. Let's see what it looks like when we add reds. Sometimes red is better. So just getting that nice glow from the lights there. Not really keen on that bit on his shoulders, so Let's add a layer mask and let's just paint away the bit on his suit here, like so, and we can keep the rest. So we've got a little bit of that glow just kind of leaking over there. And then what we need to do is just sharpen this, so I'm going to click back onto the stamp visible layer, which we created before for the bleach bypass. Don't need to create another one because this one is here. And then I'm going to go to filter, other, high pass. Let's go, we want something quite sharp, so I press OK, something like that. So 4 pixels or 4%, and then let's change that to soft light or overlay. Let's go for overlay, that's looking pretty sharp. And then underneath the colour, maybe we'll add a little bit of a vignette or sort of vignette. We want to darken some of the edges. So I'm going to click here and add a curves adjustment. So you want to do it under the colour grading that you did and the contrast. And let's just click the curves adjustment. Let's just bring down the highlights a little bit. Let's press Ctrl I to invert that, and then let's just paint some of these darker areas here. So let's put our brush on around 11%, set it to white, and let's just darken some of these areas. So don't, like sometimes you can just do like a little bit of a circle around, but I try not to do that all the time. I try to darken certain areas of the background what are already dark. So this section of floor here can get darkened. It's quite dark here. So this area here can darken a little bit. This area here. Let's just turn that off and on. So we're kind of working with the patterns of the image, which brings more our eye more to this area here. So let's just try one more thing. Let's see if I just brought in that curves adjustment and just another new one and just pulled it up a little bit and press Ctrl I. And then just painted it over this center of the image here, where the light is coming from. Let's paint it away from the bottom because we don't really want that. Just want it in here in the center, so the light could be coming from this doorway and these lights here. So that's that, and we're brightening this area up, and that is pretty much it. So that is a full length, quite simple composite, and I just wanted to run through this with you because I know we've gone over little how-tos and we've gone over speed, we've done time lapses with narration which go quite fast, so not always everyone can see what's going on. I just wanted to do one full length easy composite. So basically the techniques that I went over in this is just basically what you would use in a larger photo manipulation. For every single element that you bring in, you would do the tone matching and the color matching and then the blending. So if you apply these tactics to the larger photo manipulations, you'll be on the right path. So that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed this full length tutorial. If you did, it would be awesome if you could leave a comment below, if you could subscribe to the channel, or even if you could share it onto your social media if you think you know someone who may benefit from this. So we do truly appreciate all the support, and I will speak to you guys soon.